You know, people always ask me about Lil Jojo. That's one of the people I'm always asked about. If it ain't Keith or Dirk or Von or Duck, it's Jojo. I think Jojo is one of the forgotten members in my opinion. His death is very sad, you know, in my opinion. It was a video that leaked recently about Lil Jojo. Was that really his death? You know, people didn't want to confirm it, but I'm sure that was the video. And I'm pretty sure a lot of us can confirm that that was that video of Jojo Death. You know, I noticed that Jojo Death happened so long ago that a lot of people don't really speak on it no more. It's kind of got covered up, and I think it's crazy because, you know, it was captured on videos. All vehicles was captured. You seen disses about it, plenty of speakings on it. Pretty sure the police had suspects and all kind of shit. They brought in suspects for his death, but couldn't lock it in because of the culture and no telling was so strong. You know, when you watch the video of Jojo Death, a lot of people didn't really speak on that as much. But I'm not sure if people realize, when you watched it, you can clearly tell it was a hit on that young man. It was multiple cars followed that young man. He was on that bike with somebody, you know. They clearly noticed they was being followed too, because they were riding real fast, looking back and shit like that. They noticed it, you know. Unfortunately, Jojo lost his life. It was rumors that he was on a bike. I think Swag dispelled that. I think Jojo might have got off that bike because they seen them people coming. It happened so fast. You know, one guy ran this way, one guy ran that way. We seen that. You know, that death is just, it's a travesty because it just show you that the gangbanging was at an all-time high. You know, these things happen all around the world, but it was just captured on camera. We seen it. It was just fidget to our eyeballs. I could be wrong because this shit been going on, but in my opinion, you know, Jojo Death was like the first death I seen in the drill rap war. You know, that shit ran deep. It's things about his death though that confuse me. You know, to have a song like BDK, to be that known in the streets, you know, to just rap past the opposition like Lil Reese, to film woofing at him and shit like that. You know, I understand Jojo was smart. He ain't finna kill him on camera. He just wanted to show the world exactly who I guess Reese was. But just to the naked eye seeing that, then riding around on the bike, you know, and then tweeting out his location, you know, it kind of feel a little gameish, you know. And I know he didn't think this was a game, you know. I just think Jojo was comfortable in his hood. And, you know, it was guys that was just hunting him down. There's plenty of speculation about who did it. I wouldn't dare get into that. I ain't the FBI or Instagram police. I'm just here to bring you the news that's covered up, not convict nobody. But I'm not gonna lie. There's been plenty of songs and plenty of name drops about what happened to Jojo that day. I think Jojo Death kind of brought light to the underground culture of the drill rap. See, Chief Keef brought light to rap, his homies, what was going on in Chicago. But Jojo Death brought light to a lot of things. His death actually opened up the underground world, like the GDs, if you ask me. He was linked to Lil J. Lil J blew up in the drill culture. Probably not mainstream, but as far on the underground scene, he linked to FBG Duck. Duck blew up. You know, so a lot of the guys who became legends in the drill culture really got started from like Jojo, from the Little Misters to everything, you know. So Jojo was a key component in this shit. He lost his life young. You know, at the time Jojo lost his life, at the time, I'm not saying now, right now, because guys advance, but at that time when Jojo passed away, in my opinion, he was the better rapper. I think he was better than Dirk at that moment. He was better than Keith at that moment. I think Keith and Dirk got way better, though. I think Dirk then rose to barman, you know, not so much bars, but he make music that I think he's going to be able to monetize in the future. I don't think Keith going to be able to monetize off that music 10 years from now, but I think Dirk then dropped enough content to monetize off that music 10 years from now. But I think Jojo was a better artist, lyricist. I think his bars hit better, his cadence, his flow, everything. I just think Keith and them made it first, you know. Keith and them was authentic, don't get me wrong. Keith and them come from that shit, like the imprint of the shit, you know, where a lot of that shit started is in Keith blood, you know. But in my opinion, I believe Jojo is one of the most underrated drill culture artists of all time, and I believe he'll be a mega superstar if he was alive right now. Because you got some people that was industry, and you got some people that was in the streets. But you know, I just think that he was a demon killer, murdered 50 people. I think that was put on JoJo the wrong way, you know. I think YouTube channels like academics and guys that had a lot of subscribers at that time raised their profile by giving them names and things like that. And Jojo Death being linked to Keith and shit like that kind of raised their profile. But I think Jojo was a regular dude who stood on bullshit. He wasn't, who stood on his shit. I mean, who wasn't afraid of shit, was beefing with niggas who he beefed with. That don't mean he didn't do street shit, but just to label him a serial killer at that age, I think is too much, you know. But a lot of people always ask me about JoJo. I wanted to tell you guys that, man. I want to ask y'all a question, though, before I get off of this. Do you think JoJo would be one of the biggest artists in the drill culture right now? Or do you think JoJo would be like the rest of these drill artists? I would love to know what you think. Leave a comment. It's the homie True Tyler Street Reporter.